Gridiron Blues family, what is this? It's a message from our sponsor, Trexair Aviation Academy. Fast track your way to a high-flying pilot career. Trexair Bay Area Flight School takes you from ground training to earning month as a pilot in only 8 months. Start your journey today at TrexairAviationAcademy.com. TrexairAviationAcademy.com. All right.
Let's get it, boys. Gridiron Blues, welcome back. I know we've been absent for a while, but today's the time.
Miller?
You know what?
No,
It's a somber vibe right now. Our fans are sad because we have not uploaded in 3 weeks, but welcome back. Today we're going to be going over some banger topics, aka conference championship games, aka the greatest time of the year besides Christmas. Oh wait, it is Christmas time. Let's roll into it. Owen, what games are we covering today?
So we're covering conference championship games. We got in the ACC, who is it?
SMU, Clemson.
SMU, Clemson. SEC, Texas, Georgia. Big Ten, Penn State, Oregon. And Big 12, Iowa State, Arizona State.
Those are some pretty banger games. ACC championship's kind of mid. Clemson shouldn't have gotten in. Miami got pretty much what's going on. We've got a big studio audience behind us. You guys want to come in and say hi?
Oh, only one.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll bleep it.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward just have a bunch of people look at you, but I guess it's the same as the camera. We're going to start off with our predictions. Of course, last week we didn't predict anything considering it was Thanksgiving break, but, Cal ends in a heartbreaking fashion to SMU, and we lose Jaron Keene Sagatopole.
Yeah, we saw Ohio State go down to Michigan.
Great game.
Yes,
That was a great
game.
Great's a tough.
If you're a football fan, that was a good game.
It was a defensive battle.
Yeah.
Okay, why do people hate Ohio State so much? That's my...
Because
You
no one
an Ohio
likes
State
Ryan
fan now?
Day.
Because
Ryan
they spent $20 million on their roster, and they lost to, 5-5 Michigan?
7-5.
7-5
baby. Don't
Michigan.
disrespect.
Well, 7-5 now.
That and they got rid
Before
of their boy Kyle McCord, who's been balling with Syracuse. He was first. He wasn't first team. He was second team All ACC for offense.
Kyle McCord is the new Drew Lock, I think.
Yeah, start the edits right now. So let's roll into our predictions. We're gonna start out with the most important conference, the SEC. Who doesn't love a little Southern football? You have newcomer Texas versus Georgia. Texas is ranked 2 at the moment, and Georgia is 5th, even with 2 losses in a very close game last week against Georgia Tech. But our current spread right now, what we're hearing from the experts is Texas is favored by 2.5 points. And we have some big players coming into the game, Carson Beck. Still think he should break up with his girlfriend so he can go back to vintage performances, but it's not here nor there. But we're going to be taking our predictions now.
All right.
Track, start us off.
Start us
Texas,
off.
All right. I love SEC football. I think there's a lot of confrontation going on in that division. They believe that they're the best in all of college football. I don't think that's true, but I guess that's not important. But I'm going to take Texas in this game. I'm not a huge fan of Georgia. I think they're a severely overrated football team. I know a lot of statistics would prove me wrong, but that's just a personal feeling. I'm taking Texas in this game.
Yeah, after letting up 42 points to an all-right Georgia Tech team, their defense seems a little questionable. Owen, what's your pick?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Texas here. I just don't think Georgia has the same offensive power that Texas has, or defense. And not a fan of Carson Beck, so can't go for him.
I'm also going to go with Texas here. I think after watching Georgia take Georgia Tech into 8 overtimes at home, I cannot pick them to beat a really good Texas team. I got to go Texas here.
All right. Texas all across the board.
You know what? I'm going to have to sing this. Who's that coming down the track? It's a mean machine in red and black. Ain't nothing finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. You know what? They're everything the Dogs have done this season. No matter how many times I get their picks wrong, give me the Dogs, baby. Longhorns, down, baby.
Wow.
Oh.
And take away all my
a
former
bad
statements
pick.
about liking Texas, because they're not starting Arch Manning. I don't like him anymore.
All right.
So
Moving
that
on.
ends up our SEC segment.
Big 12 next.
Big
Big
12. No, let's go Big 10.
Let's go big, yeah.
Big
All right,
12 doesn't
Penn
really
State,
matter.
Oregon.
If Arizona wins, then they're in the playoffs.
All right, I'll start us off here. As someone who's severely interested in going to school at University of Oregon, I'm not going to be biased at all, but I am going to take the Ducks. I think that Dylan Gabriel and that explosive offense, just watch their UW game. Just plays over 40 yards constantly over and over again. This team's explosive. I like the physicality on defense. Give me the Ducks.
Yeah, Oregon's the best team in college football, no doubt about it. And I think Penn State's a little fraudulent. So I'm putting my faith in Dylan Gabriel and the Ducks.
I mean, I love Penn State as a program, but the spread being Oregon favored by 4 points just isn't enough. I think Penn State's probably going to lose by 2 scores here. Oregon's played bad, but the difference between Oregon and Penn State is Oregon wins games even when they play their worst, where Penn State can play their worst but still not get it done. Example being the Ohio State game. You cannot get stuffed on the 1 yard line for 3 straight plays. Like, run it to the outside. We don't need to see power O 3 times in a row on the 1 yard line. It's really disappointing. I really love Penn State, what they do. Their tight end specifically. What's their tight end's name again?
Who, Oregon?
Oh, yeah, Warren.
Oh.
Warren's a great player, and quite frankly, he looks better than Brock Bowers. That's probably his... Yes! Oh, he is so much better than Brock Bowers! Do you see what he does on the football field? Oh, have you not seen his catches? He's so glorious.
Bowers.
Oh my, we have
Brock Bowers.
a
Brock Bowers,
bunch
NFL
of
stats. Pull it
Raiders
out.
fans
Cut
over
it
here.
out. Cut it out.
No, oh my God. Well, I'm just going to take Oregon, even though Oregon seems to take everything from me, including my 4-star quarterback commit to Cal, my will to live. There's a lot going down in Eugene right now. But, I'll take Oregon, giving 4.
Yeah, I think Penn State's absolutely overrated. I don't see a number 3 team losing or winning by only 7 points to Bowling Green. I don't see that happening. And I think Oregon has been dominant this whole season. They've been the 1 seed ever since that Ohio State game, and they haven't even been mentioned at all since then, which is a good thing. Their 1 seed hasn't been in question almost the whole season.
They're undoubtedly the 1 seed.
100%.
Also, I want to throw up a random statistic that I saw that I thought was funny. If Purdue started every single game with a 49-point lead, they would still be 6-6. So, to our Boilermaker fans out there,
Miss Gavarna. Senor Escobar.
we feel for you. Next championship game, let's go ACC championship with number 8 SMU versus 17 Clemson. Quite frankly, after Clemson's loss, watching the games on Saturday, I was really wondering what Clemson's doing, but somehow they still get into the ACC championship by Miami choking, just coughing up a hairball against Syracuse.
Wow.
What?
All right. Yeah, I'll go next. Yeah, you kind of summed it up there. Miami, they should have been in this game, and I guess they're just not anymore. But you know what? I think SMU's a really good football team, and I'm going to take them.
Yeah, I love the Mustangs, too. I had to think for a second there. Mustangs are a great team. Their quarterback is balling. Everything about them's balling. Quite frankly, if I had $2 billion to put into a football program, I would put that $2 billion into SMU. And, I'll take the spread. That's what I'm feeling.
All right. Yeah, not sure how Clemson snuck their way into this game, but SMU given 2.5. That's just not enough. Even though Cade Klubnik's been balling, I'm still gonna go with the Mustangs here as well.
Yeah, it's got to be SMU here. I don't see Clemson going far in these playoffs. I think that if the ACC wants to be represented in these playoffs, it has to be SMU. Clemson just won't be able to get it done.
Also, I'd like to refrain on my comment about the $2 billion. What I meant by that was how SMU has these big oil baron boosters that put a bunch of money in, and I was just saying, you get what you pay for with this SMU team, unlike other programs. Texas A&M. But yeah, let's go on to our next game. I look you say Mountain West. Mountain West has a pretty interesting championship.
Mountain West.
That will lead us right into our Heisman predictions.
I mean, Boise
Well, we
State-
haven't talked about.
we can talk about them after the Mountain West.
Get them after.
I mean,
Yeah.
does it really matter if Arizona State wins, they're in the playoffs at the 12 seed. If they don't, then the Big 12 has a really disappointing season. You at the
I guess we can do the
get a
picks
higher
quickly,
seed than
right?
you.
Let's just. I'll take Arizona State in this game.
Yeah,
Just
give me
quickly.
I think
ASU.
it's Arizona State
Give me
across the
Arizona
board. Yeah,
State.
Yeah,
Scandalo's
shout out to our
been too
former
good.
Pac-12 brethren.
it's true.
Yeah.
All right, Mountain West.
Yeah, Mountain West, baby.
All right,
The loser of this has to play the fearsome Cal Bears in the LA Bowl.
and you don't want to do that.
You don't
so.
want to do that.
Boise State favored by 4.5. Yeah, I just think they've been the better team all season. I think record speaks for itself. Can rock with Ashton Genty and Boise State.
Yeah, I mean, Boise State is the only team to really play Oregon that close. Oh, my mic just unplugged. Boise State is the only team to play Oregon that close, apart from Ohio State. And what Boise State have done this season is quite frankly amazing. It really puts the Pac-12 now on the map because if you remember, they've signed off on their deal for them in the 2026 season, 2026 or 2025 season to reform the Pac-12 into the Pac-8. And Boise State's just been playing amazing. Genty looks like the Heisman that he is.
Yeah.
And I'll take the spread of Boise giving 5. What's really weird is how small all these spreads are, even though if it was a regular season game, these spreads would be way
Like
bigger.
UNLV and Boise State should not be this close.
I mean, UNLV had an interesting season this year.
Yeah.
Their quarterback left halfway through. I would say halfway through, right?
Yeah,
It was
'cause
about halfway
NIL,
through
yeah.
due to NIL money. They picked up right where they left off. I mean, this new quarterback, I forget his name. I know I saw him in the news. He was complaining about, or he's never been to Boise before. So.
Yeah, that's a crazy take.
Malik Williams, yeah.
You know what? That take
Haj
is actually-
Malik Williams.
That take is massive.
That's just disrespectful
you
to
know what else
Boise.
is not supposed to look at
too.
your fade meme?
All right.
I think, yeah, but Boise State's run game is too powerful. Ashton Genty, he's a Heisman candidate. We'll get into that in a second. But I'm going to take Boise State.
Yeah, I gotta go Boise State here too. I mean, the line is small because in October they did play, and Boise State only won by 4. It was 29-24 Boise State. But I think that with Genty, I don't think there's a team in the Mountain West that can beat the Broncos.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right.
Final words to say is that
Army is
UNLV's.
winning.
Okay, yeah,
Alright.
Army wins the American
Yes.
American Athletic Conference over Tulane.
Yeah.
No.
Tulane, who can technically still get into the
Tulane's
SEC
favored by 5.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
It says right here.
They haven't
They're
met the
favored by
Captain
5.
America, Bryson
Hammer
Bailey.
that. Everyone
Yeah.
hammer that.
All right.
Oh, that's a big take.
Oh,
Captain America.
yeah. To all our gamblers
Shout
out there.
What you mean?
Everyone above 18.
You have to
Above
cut that.
18.
You know, we have to cut that.
All right.
Yeah. To all our legal gamblers, hammer that line and also hammer Ashton Genty to win Heisman, baby. Snaps aren't a valid stat to go by. But even though Travis Hunter's a great player.
Right. All right. So, I mean, we kind of talked about it already, but Heisman predictions.
Should we go back to our original ones?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh,
Pull up the
jeez.
doc, baby.
I don't know when that. Yeah, go to. Isn't it the pod doc up? The
Yeah,
original
it's on
one?
the pod doc.
But I believe. I don't know what we would have had to say. I
Dude,
mean, it's
it
probably,
was
it's
probably-
probably similar.
It was probably Carson Beck. It was
Carson Beck was probably in the conversation. What? Do you think Quinn Ewers was in there?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Jalen Milrow.
Milrow, dude, he fell
What a
off
disappointment. Yeah.
cliff.
No, he was in the race for a good amount of time.
After
And
they
then,
beat Georgia, I had a.
Yeah, everyone was
But-
like, dude, if you just don't lose to Vanderbilt, Bama just has such a
Yeah.
better resume.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But
And they've lost to, okay, the argument for South Carolina not being in the playoffs, I understand it because head-to-head, you have to respect the head-to-head matchup, but just their form has been so good recently, and it's just kind of sad to see them get left out because I really like South Carolina as a team. They're
that's
really
a great
fun.
school. But I'm just happy to see that there's no quarterbacks really. I mean, Cam Ward was in there, but it's really just down to the 2 skill position players to win the Heisman. And
Yeah,
I
Ryan
love to see
Williams
that.
was a contender too.
Well, that's
Who dropped that take?
we're having a laugh.
Right. Let's see. I gotta find the specifics on that. Let's see.
But looks like original predictions was Carson Beck. I don't know who we officially predicted, but who we're talking about was Carson Beck, Jalen Milrow, apparently Ryan Williams. I don't know what we were thinking
we
there.
must have been into.
We were rookies back then. We've advanced. We've
must have
leveled
been,
up.
What? No, I'm just gonna say in Spanish. Nosotros encantamos con Señor Ryan Williams.
We were
porque
in love.
el partido de Alabama versus Georgia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that he gained a lot of fans that day. But I guess just between Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty, I mean, I think people love to see a two-way player like Hunter, and I think Genty deserves the Heisman more than any other player in this league. If you compare his stats to Derrick Henry's stats when he won back in, what year was that, 2016?
15, I want to say.
2015, 2016. They're much better, and not much better, but they're better. And he's been sitting out for almost every fourth quarter this year. So I think
2015.
2015. I think Ashton Genty is the most deserving player But while I do think it will be given to Travis Hunter. So prediction is Travis Hunter, I guess.
I think the only reason Ashton Jenny doesn't win this award is because Boise State's in the Mountain West Conference, as well also as he's not a two-way player. I mean, that's been a concern that most talk shows have talked about.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a big media push for Genty right now, specifically on McAfee. I know this is funny to say, but I mean, even the Oregon Ducks out there rooting for Genty for Heisman.
Yeah.
I mean, Dylan Gabriel's in the run.
How could you not?
He is not. He's Trex. You know he's not.
Dylan Gabriel is not in the
I mean,
running.
he's third in the voting.
Okay,
Yeah,
but it's only
okay.
It's a two-man race. It's a two-man
Everyone's
race.
argument is that Genty hasn't played against like the SEC schools, but he tore through the number 1 seeded Oregon
is true.
Ducks.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Guys, I have one more thing.
Yeah.
Two,
Good.
I think Genty wins this award if he balls out in the playoffs. I know they don't matter. Do they
They
count
don't,
playoffs?
no, not really.
They don't, but it's
It
gonna
matters.
matter. Because
that should
if
be a
Genty
debate.
shows, okay, so they'd be the 4th seed if they win the conference championship.
I honestly, I think. Sorry.
Or
keep going.
they wouldn't be. So
They would-
it
they'd be
goes
up there, though.
SEC, Big Ten, ACC. Oh yeah,
No.
so they would be.
Yeah.
Big
So
Four.
they would be the 4th seed, and then say Ohio State, because they may still get in. Ohio
Oh.
State comes.
What are
and
they right now?
plays Boise State
They're
at
6th
Boise.
right now.
Boise gives
They're
them
what?
They're
BTA.
6th right now.
Boise gives them BTA, and Genty drops a 200-yard rushing performance. I think that seals his Heisman, because he's just played amazing. He has more touchdowns than the entire Florida State team, and he's played incredibly, and he's just a great player. And he still has a year of eligibility, so if the NIL
He's
in
gonna
Boise
declare.
State hits big, he may want to run it back to go back-to-back Heismans.
I think he's going to declare.
Yeah, that's probably true. But
Who, Genty?
you
I mean, he.
You saw how Ollie Gordon and Donovan Edwards declined this year, where they would have been high round picks last year. I think that if you're running back and you have a really good season and you're either a junior or senior, you're gonna declare the next year.
Yeah, in the NFL especially, it's fresh legs are huge.
That, and I think a
Yeah.
big problem with college football, and I say this from my own experience, is offensive line just deteriorating over years, and especially with changing coordinators. If your football or your run game coordinator gets poached, then you can really see a decrease. Or I don't think it's the talent gone away, and I'm projecting about Jaden Knott. It's not the talent that goes away; it's the talent around him.
Yeah.
And losing big guys who would make you look better through running the ball, it just hurts. And it's not always the running back's fault. It's the offensive line. It's Mike Bloch's fault or something Bloch's fault, But this is just for everyone, not just Cal.
Yeah. Travis Hunter. We don't talk enough about him. He's a really special talent, and he probably could easily played at any top 12 school in the country. I mean, both ways.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty obvious. So credit where credit is due for Travis Hunter.
Yeah. I mean,
he's a really talented
he's doing
football
something that we
player.
haven't seen since who was the last? It was
Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson.
was a receiver too.
Yeah, Charles Woodson played.
But
both
wasn't
ways.
Jabril Peppers? He played linebacker and running back, right?
Probably. Didn't he also play basketball? I feel like
Maybe.
Jabril
Jabril Peppers was a special
great.
talent. But yeah, we don't.
Our last-
Same draft class.
Two-way players come once in a
Once
in a blue moon.
Yeah.
Is that a term?
That's how you
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So it's hard to not give it to Hunter, but I don't know what Genty's doing is also something you don't see once in a blue moon. But I think that like Trek said, credit where credit is due. But I think Genty's doing better at his best position. He's doing better at. That makes sense. He's a better running back than Travis Hunter is a wide receiver or cornerback.
Yeah, for sure. And also, everyone's saying that, they're just spamming Genty. I mean, the guy's averaging 7 yards a carry.
Who wouldn't spam?
Exactly.
Genty.
I mean, and the thing about Hunter is that, yes, it is impressive that he's doing what he's doing on either side of the ball, but he's not top 5 in his position on either side of the ball, I would argue. Whereas Genty is about to break Barry Sanders' record, which is a record that everyone thought was unbeatable. But, I mean, here he is, and there's no way that you don't win the Heisman doing that. I think in any other year, I think Hunter's a lock and Genty's a lock. But with both of those guys at the same time, it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
it's so weird not seeing a quarterback in the top.
I love it.
It's
Yeah.
so
It's great.
refreshing.
It's great.
so refreshing.
Yeah, it's just strange to me, and but my prediction, I think it's gonna go Travis Hunter. I have a feeling that the committee or whoever decides the Heisman Trophy.
I think it would be Travis Hunter. I think it's not going to be because they didn't make the playoffs.
That is true.
Because Genty's going to be super advertised, super marked. He's going to have a high price.
No, yeah. Well, you're
Look
right.
at
I'm
Genty
changing my
coming
pick.
into play.
I'm changing my pick. Ashton Jenny will win the Heisman.
Wow. Well, looking at Fox Sports here, it's looking like it's Travis Hunter is favored by a whole lot, but
Like, the media doesn't like Dion, though, or they haven't historically liked
Yeah.
Dion, which is weird because, like, Travis Hunter's Dion's prodigy.
hey, I have an idea. If we can't decide between Genty and Hunter, we could just throw Fernando Mendoza in the conversation and
You know,
and make everyone's lives
I mean,
easier.
we could look over. You know how we looked over. We could look at all conference teams, something like that.
Right,
Or,
yeah.
I mean, we're at 20 minutes. We can.
We can wrap it up, but
Yeah.
so final predictions:
Ashton Jenty.
Travis Hunter.
Ashton Genty.
Ashton Genty.
Wow. All right, Isaac, want to throw a prediction in there?
Travis Hunter.
Ah, you did it.
All right.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to cover?
I mean, we could cover some of last week's games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's look at last week's game. So, biggest ones, I guess, were
Ohio State.
eight overtime. Was that right? 8 overtime. Georgia Tech.
Oh,
Crazy game.
so
44-42.
Georgia Tech to win so bad.
I know.
Why couldn't they?
Oh my
Like that
God.
first quarter, they could have scored another tutty.
Yeah,
That
and
one hurt.
The
yeah,
thing about it-
17-0 going into halftime.
The thing about it is that everyone is low on Georgia because of it. But the thing is that great teams fight back, and I think obviously in that first half they looked awful. But I think the fact that after halftime they went out there and they what was it? They scored how many points?
in the third quarter,
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, they
21.
went 21.
No, just 6 points in the third quarter, but 21-10 in the fourth. Which is
Yeah,
what was really
I mean, doing that, you have to be a great team. But again, I think against an ACC school in Georgia Tech, unranked, who has some good wins, it's just a really bad look for the Bulldogs.
I think one thing you have to say is that the ACC can't be rated as some little brother
100%.
conference. I think it should be taken serious, despite kind of our mistakes, if you want to call it that, by having Miami kind of not be in our college football playoffs. But people have rose to the occasion. Like SMU, a first-year school that's gone 11-1 and has played great and are going into the college football playoffs with great form and the ACC championship. And my final thing I'd like to point out about this is kind of the SEC becoming the new Pac-12. Because, I mean, in previous years, that's how the Pac-12 was. You would have a 2-loss team in your conference championship because teams would just cannibalize each other. And it was really bad at the time because 4 teams playoff mean you have a loss. If you have 2, you're done.
Yeah.
But if you just have a loss, even that, it's like, are you getting into the playoffs? Maybe, maybe not.
Florida State,
Yeah.
undefeated.
The SEC is interesting because coaches have said in the past that Big Ten schools would be, like 10-0 Big Ten schools would be 5-5 in the SEC. And
I don't know if I can agree with that. But
the SEC, they speak very high of themselves. And after a game of, I think Texas was involved, they started chanting SEC. Like, you don't see that anywhere else in college football.
This has been a crazy year.
A lot of division with pride, and they play rough football. They play strong football. They play tough football.
play Southern football.
They play Southern football, yeah. So that's part of that division culture, I guess. And that's something we don't really see in, like, the ACC or, like, where the powers are a
Yeah,
little bit
and
more
when you in the
divided.
ACC, you got
if
Cam
you've
Ward
ever
walking around in the
visited
pocket.
An SEC like college kind of area, is there much more to do than college
Than
football?
football?
That's true.
Yeah, I
mean
mean-
Vanderbilt is amazing. Or Tennessee, Nashville's a really
There's
amazing.
no
Athens-
disrespect
Athens,
to any
Georgia.
SEC school, but it's
Beautiful.
Like, think about it, like people.
They live, breathe football.
Yeah, they live
Yeah.
breathe- just like in Europe with soccer. They're so rooted in the area that people live, breathe soccer,
Yeah.
live and die by the pitch. But you just don't see that culture in other places. But it's
ACC.
unique to America specifically, just kind of our passion and pride for football.
You got like North Carolina, like basketball schools, like Cal's a
The
really
Blue Bloods.
academic school, really good academic school.
Yeah,
Wish you
Chargers
guys were a little better at football.
Hey, we're actually looking pretty decent at basketball this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see our TikTokers. I see a bunch of Cal basketball
Stojakovic,
TikTokers.
baby.
Yeah, this guy in the middle part on TikTok. Shout out him.
Someone tell me why Penn State has a 53.6% chance to win against Oregon.
Because they're ballers.
No.
But I don't see it's happening. at
The
all.
the
There's
Nittany
no
Lions,
way.
not Natty
I do not like
Lions.
Penn State.
I'll
respect
curse
their
them.
program.
Wait.
They only beat a USC team by 3. They played awful that game.
I've got to say something. Go Natty Lions. Boom. Cursed.
Yeah, they're not one after that. But yeah, I'm not really. I can't say I agree with that at all. But
It's a good culture at that
I
school.
think we've determined.
Indiana, man.
Indiana, after that Ohio State loss, they just.
Yeah, that shout out
Who
shout out
did they
Hoosiers.
lose to after that?
No one. They just couldn't get in by
That's
because
sad.
Oregon's undefeated, and then head-to-head Ohio State had the matchup over them, so they'd be higher.
Yeah.
And then by Ohio State losing, Penn State still had like higher because they only lost to Oregon. They didn't play Ohio State. I don't know.
Feel bad for Indiana, but
Indiana.
they had a great run.
New
66-0 against Purdue. What a
I told
They
you about that.
Jesus.
A new rivalry. Like,
Yeah.
Purdue is so pathetic this year. No offense to Scavarna, but.
Maryland
Bro,
too,
Ben
Northwestern,
Roethlisberger's
Wisconsin.
not Ben Roethlisberger. Drew Brees, their number one alum of all time, you could say that's their greatest player, said, "Oh, I always wanted to go to Texas A&M when he was at the Texas A&M game." Purdue, you gotta lock in, baby.
Yeah, I mean
mean,
they
there's
got basketball.
There's
Yeah,
some
they got basketball.
bad teams in
Are
the
they-
Big
They're
Ten.
still bad. But they're bad this year. Without
No,
Edie,
they're not.
they're not great. They're not as good as.
I mean-
I mean,
They're ranked.
look at Maryland though, and also Northwestern, Wisconsin. UCLA had a terrible year. Michigan State's been bad
they're
constantly
eighth
the
in the
past couple
okay,
years.
but 2 losses, baby, and they just lost to Penn State,
Who
boy.
are those two?
Penn
They-
State giving
they're-
BTA
they're
every day.
doing-
Penn State is your second loss.
They're doing all right. Purdue's doing good in basketball,
Okay,
but
I could have sworn they were worse, but I guess I'm
No,
wrong.
because they lost to a really bad school
Yeah.
first time.
Okay. Well, I don't think we have much more to yap about. Thank you to all our fans. We'll see if we're able to film and get you guys something about the college football playoff.
we'll get some
All
we'll get some out next week.
Hopefully, all 5 of our fans out there. We appreciate you. We appreciate you guys waiting.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you
And-
to our sponsor too.
Yeah, shout out
Pound
Trex
it,
Air.
Nog-
Aviation
Let's pound it,
Academy.
Nugget, baby. You wanna click that off? Aside.
Yeah.
Turn that down off. Oh, we need a quick little pound. Pound it, Noggin.
See ya.